T-Boy here. I've got Katiba Clyde. I've got Dixon as usual. So I'm going to tell you guys my story. You guys ready for this?
Yes. Let's do this. Are you used to this?
Easy peasy.
Japanese. Lemon squeezy.
T-Boy's trying to be like Jalaz right there. All right, guys. So here's the one of the most scariest situations I ever experienced. Okay? Scariest. So, I've just flown for 12 hours from London to Johannesburg. 12-hour flight. And I'm exhausted as hell. I'm so exhausted. It was an overnight flight. I've been working all week in London. Land in Johannesburg. And there's a time, the reputation of Johannesburg Airport was horrific. I mean, they called Johannesburg for a long time, they called it the murder capital of the world, the carjack capital. So anyway, my wife always insisted on picking me up from the airport every time I landed. So I landed about 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, clear customs. By the time I walk out, it's about 8:30, 9 o'clock. And it was a Saturday. And I had a whole bunch of equipment I had gotten from the office, which I had to, the London office, CNN, and I had to take to the Joburg office. And I decided, you know what, instead of hanging out with this equipment all weekend at home, let me just drop it off at the office now and have the rest of the weekend off. Sure enough, my wife arrives on time. I load the car with my bags. Boom, we drive down to a Park Town, which is where the office is. It's about a half-hour drive. On a Saturday morning, it was even shorter than that. So we get to the office, and you know, nothing strange. I figured, you know what, I have underground parking in the office. But on that Saturday, I figured, you know what, let me just quickly park the car on the side of the building, grab the equipment that I need, rush it up to the 15th floor, deposit it in the office, and then come back, and we just drive. Instead of going underground parking, you have to put your card, all that stuff, you know. And I figured, I'm tired, I'm jet-lagged. Let me just park on the side of the building. I parked, and I noticed right away in the rear view, there's a car that just pulled up behind me. I said, oh, okay, that's fine. I mean, there's enough space between me and the next car. That's fine. That's okay. As I opened the door to get out, I just felt cold steel on my forehead. Cold steel. And this guy said, we need your bags and your money and everything you have. As I'm trying to look, the other guy runs over to the other side of the car where my wife is, sticks a gun in her belly.
Oh my God.
And she's 6 months pregnant. Wow. Can you imagine? So that's one guy with a gun on my head. The other guys run to the other side of the car, and now there's about 3-4 guys in the car. They all now jump out. It's 9 o'clock in the morning.
9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, outside,
broad daylight
on a Saturday. People are walking around. I mean, it's Joburg after all. So these guys jump out of the car. Now they start emptying my car, my luggage, my clothes, this equipment that I was bringing, which was laptop, cameras, all that stuff. Obviously, they didn't know what was in the bags, but this is what I was bringing from our London office. The gun is still to my head. I said, guys, take what you want, just don't hurt us. And my wife, she's pregnant, you can see, just don't hurt her. As we're talking or negotiating or whatever you want to call it, a car drives by. And then this guy shouts, hey, Jeff, how you doing, man?
What?
And I'm what?
He doesn't see what the situation.
Hey, Jeff, how you doing? Pop, pop. And he drives off. And I'm saying, what the hell? How do you think I'm doing?
He didn't see what was going on.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
Oh, man.
What? I mean, it must have taken maybe 7-9 minutes. But of course, it seems like forever.
Okay.
Hands in the air. By the way, my hands were in the air when the guy was saying, Jeff, how you doing, eh? I'm like this.
Oh, man.
Joburg, I tell you. So then the security guards are also, because the building here has security guards, and they can see us. They can see them like this. They can see, obviously, they must be able to see a gun or something. My wife is there freaking out. So then these guys take everything they need, jump. Oh, they take the car keys, my car keys.
Okay.
They take it, and they tell me, get in the car. And they lock me inside my car. And they take the keys with them. But obviously, if you're inside the car,
you can open it.
Correct. Yeah. But anyway, that, whatever the logic was. And then they jumped in their car, disappeared. So I jump out and I run into the building and I say, "Hey, didn't you see what was happening, man?
Yeah.
We just got jacked." They said, "Oh, really? we thought those were your friends."
What? And your hands were up in the air.
And they're transferring bags
Yeah.
from one car to the
Yeah.
other. Can you imagine? I think crime had made people, or has made people, so numb that when they see incidents like that, they don't think much
just
of
the
it.
norm.
Can you imagine? One of the scary. So of course I called CNN. I didn't have a phone. I had to use a phone. I called CNN. I tell them what's happening, and it's one thing after another. But my wife, of course, traumatized. She's
course,
6
yeah.
months pregnant.
Yeah.
It was horrific, man. Horrific. That one I will never forget. Cold steel on the side of my head.
And somebody just drive by and
Hey,
says,
Jeff, what's up?
"What's up, Jeff?"
What's up, man? What do you think? What's up? My hands are up. I tell you, that was scary, bro. That was scary. But at least, we lived to
Tell the story.
tell the story, man. That gun could have gone off, huh?
Yeah,
I
true.
always think about that. What if it went off? It would have changed everything.
Yeah, I've had that incident before.
Have you?
Yeah, but
Go
that's
on.
another story for another day.
Go on, T-boy. Go on, tell us.
That was before I went to the US.
So it happened here.
Yeah, it happened here. I think just right after high school. Me and my friend who were going to my grandma's place. She lives in Uthiru. And as we were walking, we hear gunshots from a distance, right? So we're thinking, you know what? Let's just run away from the gunshots so that we don't encounter these guys. So we ran like for, let's say, like 200-300 meters, and then we stopped. So we're like, okay, let's see if everything's gonna settle down, and then we can just go home. So we see these ladies running. They're like, "Oh, Koko Nyuma." So we're like, okay, cool. Then we see these guys coming, like 3-4 guys. They're also running. And then the audacity of us asking them, "Where's your Amanda?" and and I'm telling you, this is what the guys were asking. "Where's Ogani? Where's Ogani? You know where's he?" They pulled out the guns. They put it right in my head. You could hear, it wasn't even cold, but it just shot in the air. You could hear, I could hear the heat. The gun, the barrel was still hot, right?
Yes.
I'm telling you, they told me to take out my shoes. I had a Discman. I gave them my phone. they ran. You see, the thing is, if you were quiet, it would just run
Past you.
But the audacity of us asking them, "Oh, where's Amanda? Where's Ogani? You know where's he?" That was a funny story.
It could have been a lot worse, huh?
Yeah, true. True, very true.
That's what we call a story a day.
You're now rocking with the best, man.
It's the Hot Breakfast with Jeff and Jalango.